Live from the Roy Acuff Theater at Opryland, USA in Nashville, Tennessee, here is Marcel Ledbetter's very best friend, the one and only Jerry Clower from Yazoo City, Mississippi. Jerry Clower! Shoot this thing. I'm overwhelmed. I love y'all. Here you are done come to see me. The most prevalent questions I'm asked wherever I go. Third most prevalent question, Jerry, did you really play football at Mississippi State? Answer is yes, I really did play football at Mississippi State. Number two, Jerry, is Marcel Ledbetter real? Yeah, Marcel Ledbetter is real. Jerry, how'd you get started into show business? I used to buy fertilizer from you. And inasmuch as this is my 20th anniversary to be in show business, I'm gonna answer that question for you. Jerry, how'd you get started into show business? Started when I was 9 years old. I was sitting in the third grade. Teacher said, all you boys interested in the 4-H club, go into the study hall. Well, I didn't know what the 4-H club was. But if she'd have said, all y'all interested in getting out of my class, you can go fight a bear, I'd have went and fought a bear. So I went in the study hall. This fella stood up, said, my name's Monroe McKelvin. I'm the 4-H club agent. Let me tell you how you can become part of us. And hey, he impressed me. I joined the 4-H club. I didn't have a daddy, and this 4-H club agent so impressed me, I wanted to grow up to be like him. My project was soil conservation. I set out loblolly pines, black locust trees, and planted Serratia lespedeza. Am I talking over your head? And I won a trip. I kept my records, and I won a trip to the Mississippi Gulf Coast to a field day. Oh, I was so excited because that's the ocean, and I never had seen it. I finished high school, joined the United States Navy. The day after high school, never been away from home, caught that fast train, the Panama Limited, the main line of Mid-America, the Illinois Central Railroad, what runs from New Orleans to Chicago. And I took off on that train and went off to fight a war. Camp Perry, Virginia is where I went through boot camp. Now, this was the fastest train in the world. There was a man stepped on the bottom step of this train one morning in Macomb, Mississippi, and turned around to kiss his mama goodbye and kissed a bull in the mouth at Hammond, Louisiana. When that train takes off, it takes off. And me and Marcel Ledbetter caught that train going off to fight a war. Never been away from home. We'd been on that train 6 hours. We'd been homesick 5 hours and 59 minutes. Fella come walking down the aisle of that train, had a basket in each hand, a little old white coat on and a white dudinky cap, and he said, apples, oranges, bananas. Get your apples, oranges, bananas. Marcel said, Jerry, what is a banana? I said, I don't have no idea. I got an apple and an orange one Christmas, but I ain't never ever seen or heard of no banana. Marcel said, hey fella, said, what's them bananas? He said, 2 for a nickel. Marcel said, give me 2 of them. Said, how you eat it? He said, pull that yellow part off, peel it. Marcel scratched it and tore that peeling open and scooped him out a handful of that banana and put him up in his mouth, and about that time the train went through a tunnel. Oh, and the railroad car got jet black dark. Marcel said, Jerry, Jerry. I said, what? Marcel said, you ate your banana yet? I said, no. He said, well, don't. I took one bite of mine and went stone blind. We landed in Camp Perry, Virginia, and the bus wasn't there to get us, and the boatswain mate at the depot at Williamsburg said, hey, y'all start sweeping out this depot while you're waiting on the bus. Well, that's the first push broom I ever pushed. It wasn't made out of shucks. And we was pushing that broom, and there's two fellas sitting on the bench right there talk real funny to me and Marcel. I didn't have no idea where they was from. And we was pushing that push broom, and that fella looked up and said, jeez, you guys, I'm 17 years old now. I ain't never been out of the South. He said, geez, you guys, who won the Civil War? Well, Marcel Ledbetter brought that broom right over his head and busted it and said, the Civil War ain't over. Me and Marcel got separated. He got on a tanker, went to the South Pacific. I got put on an aircraft carrier, USS Bennington, CV-20. I earned 3 battle stars and the Presidential Unit Citation for bravery before I was 19 years of age. That's why I love this country so much. I know what it took to keep it free. Hey, that's right. And I got my discharge out of the Navy. I went back to Macomb, Mississippi. I hitchhiked home, walked up in the front yard. My mama come walking out and said, baby, glad to have you home. What you gonna do the rest of your life? I said, I'm gonna be a 4-H club agent. She said, you can't be a 4-H club agent unless you get a degree in agriculture. So young people, that was my motivation. I wanted to grow up to be like Mr. Mack. And when they said you can't be like Mr. Mack unless you get a degree in agriculture, I said, well, I'll just have to get a degree in agriculture. Because I want to be like Mr. Mack. I want to influence young boys like he influenced me. Well, how am I going to go to college? I'll just play football. Worked my way through college playing football. Now, I never saw a football till I got to college. East Fork Consolidated High School. I finished high school with 7 other folks. There's 8 of us in the senior class. You can imagine the physical facilities we would have had we played football. So I told my mama, I said, Mama, I'm going to play. I weighed 214 pounds. I was 6 feet tall. So I put on one of them tight-fitting Navy T-shirts. And I sucked myself up where my physique could show. And I commenced to strutting across that campus. And they got to noticing me. Some of the students said, oh, sir, may we help you? I said, I'm looking for the football coach. They said, come with us. I went in his office, and he jumped up and said, son, who are you? Oh, I'll give you a half scholarship just looking at you. But tell me quick, what position is it that you play? I said, I am the man. Oh, what runs with the football? That's the position I play. Well, I went out for football 16 days, and the first college football game I ever saw, I played in it. I started that game at left tackle. It didn't take them long to find out I wasn't no running back. Hey, go ahead and giggle. It don't shame me I played tackle. How'd you like to see them run the off-tackle play without no tackle? They just have them ambulances lined up hauling them running backs to the hospital. My first big-time game was against Alabama in the Southeastern Conference. Well, my first big-time game was the first one I played in against Tennessee up at Knoxville. But the one I remember the most, we played Alabama my last year at Mississippi State, and they broke out a sophomore running back named Chi-O-Daddy or Do-O-Duty, one of the two. Oh, as the runningest fella I ever seen in my life. He'd stop and start and belly back and slither and double back, and he could run. One time he was gone for a touchdown, and he just turned around and run back through us just to humiliate us. I was playing left defensive tackle. You put your best lineman there. Well, back in them days, most of your football teams run to the right. And they put your best lineman right there. Well, Butch Avenger, quarterback for Alabama, took the football and took one step and quick pitched to Chi-O-Duty. Here he come around my side. I busted through, knocked a guard named Holnack down. Stomped him, got old Chi-O-Duty around the waist. Oh, I knew I had him for a loss because on that Mississippi State side, I could hear them cowbells ringing. And just as I went to sling him to the ground, he slithered. Went straight up in the eye like you squeeze a watermelon seed. I fell to the ground on my belly. And Chi-O-Duty come down in my back and just done a little dance all over the top of me. Jumped off of me and commenced to running. I'm laying there on my belly, beating the ground with my fist, squalling. My teammate Doggo and said, "Jerry, get up and chase him." I said, "Lay still. He'll be back by here in a minute." I urge young people to participate in sports. Go out for high school sports. It just may occupy enough of your time to where it would keep you from being unduly tempted to suck some of that white mess up your nose and ruin your life. So participate in sports. Oh yeah. What a big lie. Cocaine. Morning paper. One of the top baseball players in the country. Got the world by the tail. Oh, I can handle it. I know just when to quit. Gone. I went on to Mississippi State University and I got a degree in agriculture. My major was vocational agriculture with a minor in agronomy and animal husbandry. And the first job I ever had in my life, I was assistant county agent at Oxford, Mississippi, in charge of 4-H club work. I fulfilled my life's ambition. I did. And you young folks that are moaning about your pay, I don't mind telling you what my starting salary was. It's $236.50 a month. And I was so proud. I was able to give $23 to the church. I could tithe, see? Yeah. And a lot of folks ain't getting because they ain't giving. And hey, God found me faithful when I had a little, so now he's decided to trust me with a bunch. I had that 4-H club job for 2 years. And one day a fella come in the office and said, "Are you Jerry Clower?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Are you the Jerry Clower that give 20 tons of fertilizer to some underprivileged 4-H club boys, and you talk a representative of Mississippi Chemical to give you the fertilizer?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "That's the stingiest man in Mississippi. If you talked him out of 20 tons of fertilizer, we believe you can talk farmers into buying fertilizer. We'd like for you to go to work for us." I said, "I have a deep Christian conviction that I want to work with 4-H club boys." He said, "Fella, Mississippi Chemical gives more to the state 4-H club budget than any company in Mississippi. You can go down there. We give you 20 counties in South Mississippi. You can go down there and you can go see the county agents and tell him why you sell fertilizer. You're going to help him with the 4-H club program." I said, "Fine, if you'll let me help him with the 4-H club program. I'm your man." Well, I went on the road selling fertilizer. And I'd hold farm groups. I'd go to the Alabama Cattlemen's Association. And I'd tell them how we made homogenized, water-soluble, homogeneous, pelletized fertilizers. And I never did get invited back. So I started telling country stories. And not only did I get invited back, but I sold a bunch of fertilizer. 1970, I was in Lubbock, Texas, talking to a bunch of farmers. And when I got done, there was a farm director in the back of the room. He said, "Why don't you make a record?" I said, "You crazy." He said, "Man, you gonna tell them blooming stories anyhow. Just well get paid better than what they paying you over at Mississippi Chemical." So next time you talk to a group of farmers, do you care if I tape it? I said, "I don't care what you do." Well, he taped it and sent it to MCA Records, Universal City, California. And about a week, my phone rang. "Hello, Mr. Clower." I said, "Yes." He said, "My name is Joe Sutton. I'm in charge of artist procurement for MCA Records. You have some talent. We just received some of your work." I said, "Mr. Clower, the next time you're in the vicinity of Los Angeles, would you drop by?" I said, "I ain't never gonna be in that vicinity." I said, "Fella, you don't leave Yazoo City, Mississippi and just drop by Los Angeles." I said, "If y'all want to see me, you're going to have to send for me." He said, "Well, let me talk to you here for a moment on the phone. Mr. Clower, we don't have a humorist on our label. And we'd like very much to sign you to a 5-year contract. And you may be interested to know we're one of the most prestigious record companies in the world. Our #1 artist is Elton John, Sonny and Cher, Roger Williams, Ricky Nelson, and The Who, plus many, many others." I said, "Name some of them many, many others." He said, "Conway Twitty, Loretta Lynn, Jeannie Pruitt, Bill Monroe, Ernest Tubb." Woo! I said, "Ernest Tubb." I said, "Man, when I was a young'un growing up, every Saturday night we'd go to whoever's house had the strongest battery on the radio. Woo, and we'd tune it in to the Grand Ole Opry and get Mr. Tubb to singing. Then we'd turn it up loud and then snatch your knobs off where nobody could move it off of that station. Woo, y'all come to see me." Y'all ought to seen this fella, what they sent from Hollywood to buy my records. Y'all ought to seen him. Had on them pistol-legged breeches, a black leather vest, and his breeches is picking him up real tight when he walked like that. That fella had a hairdo, looked like a milking machine had been sucking on it. My dearest friend said, Jerry, run him off. So we ain't gonna do no business with him. About that time, he opened that briefcase and showed me how much cash money he had brought with him. And my attitude got a lot more tolerant about them hairdos. I thought he had the prettiest head of hair anybody I ever saw. And I signed a 5-year contract with MCA Records. And a month later, had a gold record. As I stand before you, this is my 20th anniversary. I'm still on MCA, and they just released my 20th album, one a year. But the thrilling thing, here I am live in the Roy Acuff Theater in Nashville, Tennessee, with a bunch of positive people. Ain't nothing negative about y'all. I'm gonna brag on you in just a minute. But I've had a lot of friends, record executives, since I've been on MCA. Most of my business is done with MCA Nashville. Amen. That's fine. But if they send me a little something, I love them. I don't care where the check comes from. My second album, I got a call from Universal City. Said, Jerry, I understand you have some good bird hunting in Mississippi. I said, what kind of bird hunting? He said, quail. I said, some of the finest in the world. You want to go? I would love to go. I got my schedule out. I said, you meet me in Jackson, Mississippi last Friday. And I give him several dates where this man could meet me in Jackson, Mississippi and go quail hunting with me. Well, I'm standing there waiting on him the morning he's supposed to come. And he gets off the airplane looking like little Lord Fauntleroy. He's got 7 aides with him. I said, hey, man, you can send them aides back to California. We can pick up our own birds. So we got in my pickup truck and drove to Route 4 Liberty, Mississippi to Uncle Versi Ledbetter's house. I told my Hollywood friend, wait in the truck. I went in to see Uncle Versi to tell him we gonna hunt on his place and I was gonna use one of his bird dogs. Uncle Versi, how you feeling? He said, Jerry, I'm in low cotton. I said, my old mule Della. I said, I made about 20 good crops with her. She's sick. Veterinarian is out here this morning, says she's suffering. Yeah, I don't want her to suffer. I wouldn't let the veterinarian put her out of her misery this morning. But I want you to shoot her for me. While you up there bird hunting now, over there on that section of land, you're going to see old Della and you just shoot her. Put her out of her misery. I don't want her suffering. I said, Uncle Percy, I don't want to shoot that mule. They shoot them race horses at Louisville. When they break a leg, humane. I said, all right. So I'm starting back to the truck and I got to thinking, I'm gonna have me some fun out of this Hollywood dude. I jumped up in the cab of that truck and I started beating the dash. I said, that old man said I couldn't hunt on his place. Good as I've been to him, I've been knowing him all my life. Fought a war with his young'uns. He said, you get that Hollywood dude with that goatee off of my place. Oh, and I scratched off, throwed rocks all up on the side of the barn. And I get near back to the main road, and there's old Della, that blind mule eating grass. I slam on brakes. I said, that old man be ugly to me. I'll just kill his mule. And I jumped out of that truck and I said, boom, boom, and down old Della went graveyard dead. About that time I heard 3 shots up at the truck, boom, boom, boom. I said, fella, what in the world are you doing? He said, Jerry, that old man upset you so bad I killed 3 of his cows. I growed up with Marcel Ledbetter. He was my friend. Marcel's in the pulpwood business. You know why? When he was a little boy, one day his daddy called him in, and Marcel didn't like school teachers, he didn't like school houses, he didn't like school books, none. Uncle Percy said, Marcel, there's more to school than recess. Now you gonna get up your lessons, or the day you get old enough to get your driver's license, I'll take you out of school and put you to hauling pulpwood. Now what's it gonna be? Marcel Ledbetter got his driver's license the day he entered the 4th grade. Uncle Percy bought him a second-hand pulpwood truck. Marcel's truck didn't have no cab on it. He was coming from the wood yard one hot evening, and every now and then he'd snatch his bare foot off the accelerator, because it'd get hot up on there to him. And he got to thinking how good a cold, knee-high, belly washer orange soda water would taste. Oh, and he wanted one of them so bad. He knew if he's going to get one, he better hurry up and stop, because there ain't no beer joints in Amite County. We have done voted it out. Me and Marcel and the Deepwater Baptists have voted it out. But there's 5 county line beer joints to serve them folks what's done voted it out over in my county. Marcel pulled his truck up in front of the beer joint, put it in neutral, pulled the emergency brake up, got off his truck and started walking toward the beer joint. Now all he had on was a pair of overalls, nothing else. Bottom buttons is buttoned, top buttons is flopping. He buttoned them in the wintertime. Do you hear me? He didn't have on nothing but a pair of overalls. See, when I was a boy, our mamas wouldn't let us wear underclothes with overalls in the hot summertime because they'd fade on them. You get you a brand new pair of them blue denim overalls in the hot summertime, they'll blue you up pretty good too, won't they, mama? They sure will. Marcel walked up to that screen door at the beer joint and said, "Hi! Ma'am, how to counter, what you want?" I said, "A cold, knee-high, belly washer, orange soda water." Man said, "You better get away from that door, you redneck. You ain't got on no shoes, no shirt. We don't like you in here." Marcel said, "I ain't coming in no beer joint. I got the money. I done sold a load of pulpwood. Hand me a soul knee-high. And I'm telling you, I ain't coming in no beer joint. You hand me one of them bottles of pop, I'll pay you for it, and I'll drink it while I'm driving home." 2 fellers sitting back at a table playing this here Boo-Ray card game. They're from Louisiana. They said, "Hey, boy, didn't you hear the man tell you to leave?" Poor Marcel. Walking on them rocks. Out there barefooted. He walked back to that pulpwood truck and opened up that toolbox and reached over in there and got one of them lightweight McCulloch chainsaws. And he caught a hold to that starting rope. He walked back up to the door of that beer joint and just stuck the snout of that thing through the screen door. He reamed him out a hole and walked inside. He revved it up, let all them screen wires and hedges and things come loose from it. He swung it to the left and just de-legged a table. He swung it to the right, de-legged another table. He uppercutted that card game. Sawdust and splinters went everywhere. They gave Marcel that beer joint. They let him have it. Folks, name of the game is love. L-O-V-E. Smartest man in the world said, "It's better to eat poke salad than turnip greens, drink branch water out of a gourd dipper, live in a shotgun house and be dirt poor, but love one another. Heat better to love one another than to live in a mansion." Eat charbroiled ribeye steaks 3 times a day. All the money you can spend. Wash hole in the backyard. But you're broiling and bickering and arguing and griping, and ain't no love in the home. Heap better to love one another and be poor than to live in a mansion and have everything in the world, and all you got, you cotton picking riches. I'd rather have love and be poor than all the riches and no love. You don't believe King Solomon said that? King Solomon said it. He's the smartest man in the world. He said, better is a dinner of herbs where love is than a stall-fed ox and hatred therewith. And I just told you in Route 4 Liberty, Mississippi, exactly what King Solomon said. Now, I am convinced there's just one place where there ain't no laughter, and that's in hell. And I have made arrangements to miss hell. So ha, ha, ha. Ha, ha, ha. You know if anybody don't believe in laughing. And they got a scowl on their face, and they bound and determined ain't gonna laugh at nothing. You tell them to go home and look in the mirror and see what all us other folks been laughing at all these many years. Thank you. God bless you. Y'all done good. I'm happy about you.